Welcome everybody to episode 8 of the Crash Course. We're almost done. This episode should be pretty quick. I'm just tying everything together with Bookmap and showing a live demonstration of how Bookmap is used. Essentially, today is Bookmap in action, and we get to see that here on the chart. So let's take a look. Alright, so we see on the ES Bookmap, we have lots of liquidity piled up at this high, around 5682 level, and at the bottom, we're at 5665. Since it's like both of them, it looks like we might be trading through the ranges like we've been doing the past few hours as well. Like look how much chop it has been. Today's a very choppy day. If there's any sign for entry, you would have clear confluence on the downside, but all we're seeing now are big wicks, up down, trading from range to range. So right here, the yellow line on the stream is also point of control. So at point of control, you expect to see a lot of choppiness as well, especially because that's where most volume is. Also, I want to give a shout out once again to Live Alex Pink with Bookmap. It's a great resource that I recommend a lot of people to use. Alright, so we're seeing breakage downwards, but one thing that I noticed about this downwards move is that look how the liquidity got removed. That could potentially indicate that we might be going upwards now for the end of the day, but we saw the sweep first, so let's just see how we react. Look, the NQ chart, there's not much there either. But overall, we are making higher lows within around this trend theory. So higher lows, higher highs as well, because bang, touch back down, bang, touch back down, maybe push up a higher high, but you just have to see, and Bookmap can show us that. And this is interesting because on NQ, it looks like liquidity above has been removed, but this is still valid, and this is actually moving down, so shorts might actually come in. It's all a matter of staying patient, waiting for confirmation. But now these have gotten removed, so you have to wait and see. On choppy days like this, it might be beneficial to go onto the 1 minute time frame and see what you can see there. On the 1 minute, it looks a lot different than it does on the 5 minute, especially within this macro range. Here we see lower highs getting created of this sort, but from liquidity analysis, it does seem somewhat valid. But I'm looking to see if this overall liquidity on ES can be taken, because right now we're at a key level where NQ liquidity at the lows has been taken. So maybe go up and go to these highs near VWAP on NQ. We're just about to sweep. We might see another leg down, followed by movement upwards. There's been a lot of divergence between ES and NQ today as well, which is not the most favorable, but it happens sometimes. Okay, now at these lows, liquidity has been taken. So let's see how we react to the touch of this liquidity. We are starting to see a bit of a push back up, but let's see how long this will hold. My overall idea is that we might move up from this liquidity level, which has been holding for a long time. But if sellers keep introducing more high impact liquidity at these lows like this, we might see it move lower. And the thing that signals more move lower is this liquidity keep coming down with the movement as well. And looking at the bubbles, the sell bubbles have been consistently of much larger size than these buy bubbles. So we can see on that behalf as well. We do have a V2B on charts, which could indicate movement higher. Now, going forward, we do start to see a bit of a shift here, and new liquidity on the top side is starting to get introduced. When you're very diverse from VWAP as well, we tend to go towards VWAP. So this whole area does seem like we will head towards there, but we do have to be patient, especially during a choppy market like today, where all you can see is just chop, 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 chop. Chop, 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 chop. Another sign that we might start heading more upwards is because liquidity has been starting to move up as well. When liquidity follows movement like this, you can expect price to head upwards as well, which I'm really looking forward to at the moment. Okay, so after a bit of time, we finally started seeing the buy-in which we want start to come in now, and maybe from here we'll take it up to the high to 5682 as well. You just have to wait and see. On NQ, it's looking fantastic. We broke these lows and we're heading towards these highs. On ES, we're still at this POC level, but the size of red bubbles has started getting smaller and smaller, and look at the size of these green bubbles right at the end of the day. Look at the chart as well. We broke through our V2 levels here as well, and we also have an engulfing. So let's see how this plays out. Looks like we're still continuing to go up really strongly, just like we predicted, just simply by looking at this Bookmap liquidity level, seeing where the money is at. Only downside is we did see a small leg down before making this move up, and this is all live. This is live on the stream. This is live on here as well. Oh wow, looks like we just saw a big dump after those buys. Yeah, we saw a big dump from those buys. Unexpected, but let's see how this plays through. Now, right near the end of the day, we did see this dump back, but we are holding stable there. If you did enter longs here, potentially targeting these highs, you may have to exit or take partials here, because we did get notice that seller iceberg has been introduced with 229 orders. That's pretty standard, but it could drift the market lower right at the end of the day as well. NQ still doesn't look bad because we have liquidity below, but it's definitely an area to take partials if you are thinking to do so. Look, 460, the iceberg has increased. Like we expected, because of so much icebergs being introduced in the market, price has started to drift a bit lower. We have to keep waiting and seeing how this drift lower works, but since we're at the last minute of the day, we might see choppiness or weird things happen. So looks like we're waking up. Let's just see what we do in the last minute. Looks like we're buying up just how we expected it to originally. Yeah, we're continuing. We might even hit our liquidity level like we expected it to. Let's see. Market is almost closed, I believe. Yeah, and we pushed up right to VWAP like we wanted to. 680. We also have liquidity at 680. So this truly shows you what has been done in this episode, right? We saw liquidity was at these highs on Bookmap, and we had this overall bias that we were going to go up here. Why? Because this liquidity has been held, and even though we were trading range to range, when this liquidity had gone away from the market, it allowed price to retrace a bit to the bottom. But overall, what happened? We started seeing movement upwards towards our liquidity levels. How would we have known this without the usage of Bookmap? It would be very difficult to know this. Now that market has been closed, we can essentially invalidate further movement, but we got pretty damn close to our liquidity levels, and that shows you the importance of overall Bookmap. You guys can tune in to the next episode tomorrow to see how we tie everything together: Bookmap, V2 strategy, and risk management. So let's go into the next episode where we discuss risk management. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much.